Hello, everybody.
Good evening. Happy Saturday night. Welcome to Roses and Reactions. And tonight we've got some special stories for you. So we hope that everybody's watching and listening. We got some interesting stories to tell. And hold on a second. There we go. I think that's better. The first up, we're going to talk about something that happened this week earlier in the week. A letter came in the mail. Just a short story. Brad and I filed taxes and we amended them in February. We still haven't seen a dime, nor have we heard anything. So a letter came in the mail and it was from the Internal Revenue Service. And so I thought, okay, finally we got an update, find out what's going on with the return. But then I noticed that it was made out to Rachel. And that gave me
whoa! What
lot
is
of
this?
concern.
I haven't messed with the IRS yet. So
yes, so she's been a full-time student. She only had one job, and that was over a year ago, and it wasn't enough for her to file for. She was a TA over at FGCU. So I was gravely concerned when this letter came in her name. I read it. I took it out to where she was and showed her the letter. So what was the contents of that letter?
Well, first off, we gotta tell you how you scared me half to death by your dramatic pauses.
Okay, all right.
And it turns out somebody had filed taxes in my name, and I said, no, because I never filed taxes. So I had to go through this whole thing where I called the IRS. I tried to do it online with ID.me, but their service is like the worst thing I've ever seen ever, because you log in and then they're like, oh, we can't help you. Then what's the fucking point? So what I do is I have to wait for 30 minutes for the IRS to be like, hey, somebody filed taxes in my name. Please give my mom her money. So that was a thing. Gave me a near heart attack. Gave her a near heart attack. Good thing nothing's wrong with my credit. We checked our credit. We checked with
the first thing we did when we got that letter was run her credit to see if anybody had bought some chalet out in the French Riviera. But no, that hadn't happened. In fact, her credit's clean as a whistle, thank God. But this just goes to show you that anybody can be scammed. She's never filed in her life. We don't know how the breach happened, but somebody got a hold of her Social Security number and tried to file taxes. And that's probably one of the reasons why our amended tax return has been held up, because we have her as a dependent. But I don't have the time to call the IRS right now. She's not working. I was just like, you have all day. You just keep trying. You'll get a hold of somebody.
It took me 30 minutes.
So, but finally, hopefully it's resolved at this point. But yeah, that is the story from this week. Very, very scary.
Well, we have multiple stories this week.
Yes, we do have multiple stories. Let's see. Who we got? Hey.
It was Mark!
Oh, no!
Mark, why?
Mark, you breached it, man. So at least now we know who's responsible.
Yeah.
I think he broke into FAFSA and got your number somehow. I don't know.
Must have been FAFSA, because I've never given my Social Security number to anybody who's other than the government. So,
well, your doctor's office, but I don't think that they would do that. I really think it must have been some kind of
maybe.
Or I think, did Wells Fargo have a breach? Because you have Wells Fargo.
Why would they have my social?
Your social's attached to everything.
Yeah, my loan.
Yeah.
I think it probably was Wells Fargo out of everyone, but
we'll never know.
I'll never know.
So on we go. So I had some news this week
before we get into the main meat of our show.
Yes, I want to share with you. I shared this online, but I want to just share with you something that I woke up to yesterday morning, which I thought was really cool.
$2.50. Yeah, Mom, you really want your $2.50 return?
Yeah. So my friend of mine, Milton Fernandez, who's been a really good friend of mine for years. I've known him since high school. He sent me a photo yesterday morning at 5:30 in the morning. It was around noon where he was, which is in Turkey. And the cool thing about it is, we got that photo up, right? There we go. he took my book, Warped Influences, to Turkey with him, which I thought was really cool. And he took this photo and he shared it around, and I did too, because I just think that's the neatest thing. So thank you, Milton, for having my words travel so far. I appreciate it. And speaking about my words, my book, Warped Influences, has been out since 2018. I have
Buy it if you haven't.
Well, there's something coming up. I have redone the book. We're going to have the second edition coming out here soon. And not only that, I got the audiobook done. It's done. I just need to upload it. I want to give special thanks to Sky Alley, who I hired to do the narration on this book. It's a performance that's just very beautiful. She's just so incredibly talented. And I really hope you get to check it out. It's a brand new way of experiencing the book, and it'll be coming out soon. So now we have a trailer to share with you for the book.
Okay.
That Rachel edited this.
Yes,
So
I did. Worked over 3 hours on editing this from what she gave me.
So
And I did the best with what I had.
So go ahead and show it.
Here you are. All right, so this is the first time my mom saw that trailer as well. I hope she's happy with my work and product.
I don't know what that was. It sounds like low quality, happy.
With Garfield.
With Garfield, yes.
Did you enjoy it?
No, not really. That has nothing to do with my book
well,
whatsoever.
I had a backup trailer made.
You had a backup trailer made. Okay,
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and play that trailer.
I nearly gave you a heart attack. Here you go.
Sweet dreams they placed on me inside my mind. Chance my truth, twist the past, my memories are fading fast. Am I still missed? Who do you want me to be? Am I still missed?
I mean, I like the first one better, but I mean, there's that one.
Yeah, well, I nearly got pneumonia filming those scenes in the rain last week. So that is a teaser trailer. There's more to follow. I have another
There's
one.
more to follow.
I'm
You're gonna make me do more?
Yeah, because
I gotta do less. This is what I gotta do less.
yeah, this is just a teaser, and so I hope you enjoyed that a little bit. Oh, look! Thank you so much, Terry. Oh, awesome! I'm very much looking forward to listening to Warped Influences on audiobook. And thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate that. Rachel did a wonderful job putting that together. It's just a quick little thing.
But we suck.
Yeah.
And you swallowed.
Really?
She doesn't know how to take a joke.
I don't find that funny at all, actually. So.
She doesn't know how to take a joke.
No, I'm just not happy about that at all, actually. Okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not happy about that.
Well, that's the end of Roses and Reactions. Thank you very much for tuning in. This fissure has permanently ruined our relationship, so this will be unfortunately our last episode.
Yeah, well, okay. There's a couple of things I want to say. There's a couple of okay. I wanted to talk about a couple of things, but now I'm not going to because I'm just at a loss for words, really. Okay. So,
Are you serious?
yeah, I can't believe you said that. This was like, an important thing, and then you made that joke. I'm really not happy with it at all, really. So, yes, we do need to add audio to the trailer. That's really good. Get hanging with web show and HWWS Indie Music Radio. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. Okay. All right.
The show.
Yeah. Let's get on with the show. Tonight's show is about Deborah Foreman, an actress that I really like. She was really big in the 1980s. She had a brief but standout career. Some of the movies you may know, some of them you may not. She was born in October 12th, 1962. And she lives out in California now. She was a Barbizon school model and ended up doing assignments for Maybelline initially.
I have no idea who this woman was
until she got her big break on.
But I don't know who any of that is.
Family Ties. She guest starred on an episode of Family Ties, and then went on to do her first really big. It was her first role and probably her biggest hit, Valley Girl,
which I thought was pretty mid, but we'll get into that.
So Valley Girl has stars a young Nicolas Cage,
who I recognized for once. I actually recognized an actor. But to be fair, Nicolas Cage is probably one of the more A-tier actors out there. So
yeah, absolutely.
I get that says more about him than it does about me recognizing him.
So go ahead and play the clip. It's about it. This is like a wrong side of the tracks kind of love affair here. So.
Hey man, 23727 Sierra Vista. It's a party. It is going to be amazing. I've seen the chicks. I know about these things, and I got a feeling about this one. It's going to be hot. I'm telling you. And it's in the valley. What? The party's in the valley. I don't want to go to the valley. Trust me. I don't want to go to the valley.
Hello.
Hello.
Having a good time?
I'm trying.
That's good.
What are you doing here?
Well, it's a party.
Yeah, I know it's a party, but who invited you?
Oh, wow. You mean you have to be invited? That explains it.
What?
Well, everyone is dressed for it. See, if I had been invited, I would have known this was a costume party.
Right.
Saw you once before, you know.
Where?
The beach.
That was you?
So, I think my reason for this movie being meh just has a lot to do with me having seen other movies. This is probably a completely original concept for the time that it came out.
Well,
It probably hasn't been done too
It
much,
it wasn't an original concept, but it was a
the whole thing about the love triangle kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's an obvious answer to the love triangle.
The thing about it was it was about the culture of the time. The Valley in California was very big.
Was Nick Cage ever that young? Well, apparently, I didn't even know. The things I know Nick Cage for are Wicker Man, obviously, Willy's Wonderland, and now I can't even remember the name of the movie. What was that name of that?
The
I didn't file anything. Not once, not ever.
Was it National Treasure?
I don't remember, but that one. But I had no idea. I looked. I'm like, oh, is that Nick Cage? Is that Nicolas Cage? Did I identify an actor correctly?
So yeah, so that was Valley Girl, and I really liked it. I mean, at the time, it was a very big movie. It had a really great soundtrack. You talk about soundtracks in movies. That's one that
It had a nice soundtrack. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, Melt With You still, you hear it on the radio. Mm-hmm. If you turn on the radio on the 80th station, you'll hear it at least 3 times a day. What?
if we're still talking about the soundtrack, I was just gonna say that the ending of the movie to me is it felt rushed. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that, but it felt rushed. There was a whole thing with prom, and then there's like the fight, and then she immediately is like, okay, I'm gonna go off with you, and then it ends.
Yeah, it is kind of rushed at the end. I would agree with that, and then, her dad tells her to follow her heart, but then she still gets back with Tommy anyway.
Raising Arizona. I'll make sure to check it out, Terry. Thank you.
You know what? I totally forgot about that movie, but
Is
yeah,
that Nick Cage?
That's a Nicolas Cage film. Yeah, absolutely. So, so that's Alley Girl, and that was, a 1983, I believe. Yep, 1983. And so then a few years later, she made another film called My Chauffeur, and that was in 1986. This was really, this is going to be a really interesting conversation to have about this movie.
This movie was absolutely
horrible. Go ahead and play the clip. You're going to recognize.
Yeah,
a lot of you might recognize this guy.
What do you want?
Job.
Doing what?
Driving.
Driving what?
Big black limousines. Woo, baby.
Goodbye.
What do you mean goodbye?
I mean get out.
Mr. Witherspoon hired me.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying to you.
You're deluded.
I've never had a lewd in my life.
Get me security.
My name is Casey Meadows.
Mr. Casey Meadows?
No.
This is your name.
Yes.
You're female.
Yes, I am.
And you say that Mr. Witherspoon hired you as a driver for us?
Bingo!
When?
Yesterday.
How?
This dude.
What dude?
I don't know, never saw him. There was this guy in a monkey suit, left a note where I used to work. I just quit. Said to be here at 8:30. That's why I'm a little late, because I had a little party and my dog got into some of the drinks. He had some beer and bourbon and scotch, and this morning he woke up, he was so sick. He had one of those hangovers, you can't keep anything down, you just throw up and you throw up and you throw up, so I tried to give him an Alka-Seltzer. That's why I'm a little late. Have you ever tried to give a dog an Alka-Seltzer? I put it on his tongue, and I held his mouth closed. Boom, over the side. And so I think it ruined his tongue a little bit because he started barking, he tried to bite me, and that's real unusual for Mr. Boomerang.
Shut up!
Huh?
Mr. Witherspoon did not hire you.
Yes, he did.
He did not.
Did too.
Did not.
Call him up.
I'm going to, thank you. Yes, Mr. Witherspoon, McBride here. Good morning, sir. I have a young woman with us, Miss Meadows. She maintains that you hired her as a driver. She is a female. Very well, sir. Yes, we'll put her through the trial period. Thank you. It will be a very unpleasant trial period and a short one. Giles. Yes, sir. Get her a uniform.
So I think you put it best this morning when we were discussing this movie. I think I would have liked it better if this character was in a different movie.
Yeah, I really liked the Casey Meadows character. And the idea of the film, which was originally started off, is there's the old guard of these male chauffeurs, and she's breaking the mold, and she's coming in to do something, a little bit different. And her character is kind of like based off of kind of like a Madonna-ish style character, and her character is really cute. But then the movie gets really cringe very quickly. And I watched it again this morning, and I was like, wow, I understand why Rachel doesn't like this movie at all. It's got some Sam Jones, who played Flash Gordon, is her love interest, and he's like probably twice her age in this film.
Yeah, that made me feel very uncomfortable.
And not only that, toward the end of the movie, it turns out that E.G. Marshall, who's the owner of the Chauffeur company, he hired her. He sent out a letter and got her hired because he thought that she was his illegitimate child, which would have made the guy she was with her brother.
But she already had sex with him.
Yeah, they'd had, and then he reveals that, oh, you can't get married. That's your brother.
And it was like,
and you're just like,
why is this a plot point? Why is this happening?
But it turns out that his wife was already pregnant with Casey before this guy had the affair with her.
It still didn't make me feel.
It was still really cringy, and they get married at the end, but you don't really have any warm fuzzies at all, and it's really kind of bad. So that was my Chauffeur, and yeah, that was it. Did anybody out there see this film at all? Anybody here remember it?
I honestly think it deserves to be forgotten, and I know that's pretty mean, but
yeah, it did not age well at all.
Movie.
Yeah, it didn't age well at all.
But moving on to a movie I actually really liked.
Yeah, this was a surprise that Rachel liked. I really thought she might like it because it has to deal with science. And Deborah Foreman is in it, but she only has a supporting role, and that movie is Real Genius. And we're going to play the clip. We're going to play a clip for Jerome, but I don't think he's here.
At all. I can't stand it. Have you ever seen a body like this before in your life?
She happens to be my daughter.
Oh, well, then I guess you have.
Coming down?
Yeah. No, seriously, listen, if there's ever anything I can do for you, or more to the point, to you, you let me know, okay?
Can you hammer a 6-inch spike through a board with your penis?
Not right now.
A girl's got to have her standards.
Susan.
That is a very smart girl.
What do you think you're doing?
What, you said come over.
Stay off the rug.
Dr. Hathaway.
Susan. I solved the power problem, Jerry.
Jerry?
Take a cab.
So you'll hammer later.
I kind of feel bad that this show is about Deborah Foreman, and the movie that I like the most out of all the ones that I was shown is the one that has the least Deborah Foreman. Which isn't to say, like I said, I liked her in My Chauffeur, but I don't know. I think you hit the nail on the head on the comment. I like this movie because it is about science. I really like the dynamic between the two male leads. It's just, after going through college, it just really hit me with the like minor theme of the work-life balance in there. It was a surprisingly charming movie, and I came out of it much happier. Well, I mean, liking it a lot more than I thought I was, because a lot of movies from the 80s that involve science are corny to me, but this one was just a delight to have all together. What did you think, Mom?
I really like this movie. It was a lot of fun. It's fun seeing young Val Kilmer again.
That name.
Yeah, and it was just really cute. And I added this like last minute because I just thought Rachel would like it, and she did. So I was like very happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Now, did I say that Real Genius was my favorite movie? Well, it's a favorite new movie that I watched. My real favorite movie is the one we're going to be discussing next, which I just absolutely adore with all my heart. But that's probably because I'm the huge horror movie nerd I am.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, now let me just preface this to say that I told Rachel a long time ago to watch this movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's a horror comedy called April Fool's Day, and Deborah Foreman is the star of the movie, along with Amy Steele and Tom Wilson from Back to the Future. It's got a really great ensemble cast, and we actually have 2 clips for this film because I found I found a really cool interview. And we're going to go ahead. This is Deborah Goodrich, who plays in the film also. And she's going to explain how the film came about. Go ahead and run that clip.
I find a use for it. Muffy? I know you and Arch had something going before I met him.
Arch is sweet, but he only has 2 expressions, color up and color down.
So April Fool's Day was new at the moment it came out. It is a comedy, it is an ensemble piece, and it is a horror film or a thriller. It's kind of all of the above. So this was the moment in time of the Brat Pack movies, if you remember. These were the John Hughes films that came out. The name of that genre was coined for him. So here we have a group of young actors, some of whom you know, some of whom you may not. And again, Fred Walton, the director, who was known from When a Stranger Calls. That's what everybody remembered him for. That was really a breakout, scary film. It was straight up scary film with Carol Kane. And he's trying something a little different here. So this.
And what he tried to do was this comedy horror genre, which this film was kind of a hit.
It does. When you told me to watch this movie, I was like, this is literally the epitome of Halloween ripoff movies, where you've seen it, My Bloody Valentine, which I like, but still, where you're like, oh my gosh, Halloween was a success. How can we milk this? Well, we're gonna take this holiday, and we're gonna take a different holiday, and we're just gonna make a horror movie around that. And that's what I expected going in. What I got was a really good comedy, and I actually recognized a few familiar faces. Well, I don't know them by name, the actors by name, but I recognize them from other horror movies, like the guy from Leprechaun.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this beforehand. Do you have the other one? There was another big horror.
The big what?
Another big. Oh, Amy Steele, of course.
Amy Steele. Okay,
from Friday the 13th.
Let's share the Amy Steele story. Okay. A couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, we went to Spooky up in Orlando, Florida, and we got to meet Amy Steele. And she was there for Friday the 13th, but she also had other stuff with her. And one of them was I got a photo sign with regard to April Fool's Day. She played Kit. She's really kind of it's an ensemble cast, but she's got like a pretty hefty role in that movie. And she was just wonderful. She was just such a generous lady, and it was great to meet her. So that was a lot of fun.
Delight.
So we've got another clip from April Fool's Day. This is like towards the end. Now the trick here is that there's twin sisters, Muffy and Buffy.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen the movie.
But yeah, and Buffy has like escaped from like the mental institution, and she like goes on a killing spree,
or so it seems. You didn't. It was a fake kill. You didn't. I didn't see these ahead of time. Really?
Yeah, I
did. Boo! The whole point of the movie is that all the kills are fake, and you cut it off like there.
Yeah, I wanted to add suspense.
It's not suspense if you know there's no like build up to this. Anyway, I'm moving on. This movie is super cool, and like I'm glad they went the way they did with it, with like a really lighthearted approach. because in some of the earlier cuts, I know some of the behind the scenes of this movie, there were endings where she dies for real. There were endings where everything was real, and I mean that just makes it another generic slasher movie in the 80s for me. The whole twist of everybody still being alive and it just being one big prank made it distinct from all these other clones out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was like a really good one.
So we're gonna move on to our last movie, and we're actually planning on wrapping it up a little early tonight, because we have an event to go to.
Yes.
That we made months in advance. But that's not going to stop us from discussing the final movie, Waxwork. And boy, do I have some stuff to say about Waxwork. So I'm going to play the clip, and then we're going to discuss Waxwork.
It's 11:45. Let's go.
Imagine, if you will, an exhibit in fear.
It looks a little spooky, boys. Do you think we should do this?
A place that appeals to your deepest and darkest fantasies.
Ooh, scary.
Your fascination with ghosts, monsters, and the many unearthly elements of the supernatural.
Welcome to the Waxwork.
Look.
Now this is killer.
Enjoy.
Wow, the glasses from Nutty Zombies from Hell.
Lose yourself in it.
Would you like a closer look?
Really?
But whatever you do, don't step over the rope.
Welcome, my dear. We thought you were too tired to join us. All right, I'm hypnotized.
Hey, not so fast.
Relax. A cup of coffee. We'll talk about it. I want out of here, Sarah. I'm serious.
Getting scared?
Do I get a pretty woman in my illusion? No. No, I get a dork.
It isn't real.
Bravo!
What the hell did you kill him for? He'd have been perfect.
Live, my children. Live.
Hit me! We still need 2 more!
Vestron Pictures welcomes you into a new dimension in terror. Waxwork.
So what is this movie? Like, I went into this expecting a wax sculpture movie where everybody becomes wax, and that's how the killer does it. And so I got this weird wax dimension thing going on, where I don't understand why this movie is about wax sculptures. Can you explain to me why this movie is about wax sculptures if they're going to just use vampires and werewolves and stuff?
Okay, so David Warner character has this wax work built.
I don't understand the point of it. What?
And he's got these mystical powers to have when you go beyond the rope and you go into that dimension, you're actually living in that dimension. So you have the werewolf story. You have the
vampires. So, well, I don't understand. Like, why is the point of them being wax if there's this wax dimension? Like, I get it. When you die, you become part of the wax scene. But, like, I don't. Did the werewolves and vampires become part of the wax scene? Did they cross the line?
Well, no, they were already part of like his like he has like these little subdivisions of worlds.
This movie confused me highly.
But I really like this movie. When I saw it years ago, she keeps telling me, and I forgot that there's something about some Nazi.
Yeah, there was some weird Nazi school teacher that I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Like, I'm not one for censorship or anything. I think you should be able to make jokes about anything you want. Jojo Rabbit is one of my favorite movies ever. But like, the whole joke about the teacher being Nazi is that he's a Nazi, and I don't understand. I didn't understand what I was watching, and I'm a big horror movie fan. I felt like I was tripping acid this whole movie. It was just so weird, and I didn't know what was going on at all.
Well,
who did even Deborah Foreman play?
Deborah Foreman. She was like the lead girl with Zach Gillian, who played in Gremlins. The Gremlins guy.
I was just so distracted by all the weirdness going on that I really didn't comprehend that.
Well, it's really kind of cool. I really like a lot of the actors in this film. I had forgotten that Dana Ashbrook, who played Bobby Briggs in Twin Peaks, was in this movie, and he's the one who does the werewolf the werewolf scene. Anyway, so everybody it's like a group of people, they go into this and then they start dying off, getting killed off, and it's not very good. I enjoyed it. It's kind of fun. Of course you enjoyed it. With regard to Deborah Foreman, after about 1991, she more or less stopped acting. She has done a few things since then. In fact, there was a reboot of Valley Girl in which she played one of the shopkeepers in the show. I didn't see it. Did you see that?
I've not seen the remake.
But yeah, she's got a cameo in that, and she's become a full-time photographer. And there was a story I wanted to share with regard to Deborah Foreman and why I wanted to do this show to begin with. I really liked her films. I really liked her acting. I wish she'd had a bigger career than she did. It really kind of faded out because of some of the film choices that she ended up doing. The films weren't big hits, and she kind of just stopped working. But a few years ago, she used to have a presence on Twitter, and she was going through a very hard time, and she needed to move, and she was short on funds. And basically her fans just got together and they rallied and they got her enough money to help her move. And I was one of those people who really helped push it. And she wrote me personally, thanking me for helping her move. And she gave me her phone number, and I thought that was just so odd. She's like, if you ever need anything, give me a call. I never called. But I just, I was really surprised by that gesture, and I thought it was very sweet. And so she's always, so I've always, after that, I liked her to begin with, but that was just, kind of special and neat. And that's why I wanted to do a special show based on her movies and her career. So that's it. I mean, the thing is, and Rachel hadn't seen any of these movies, and I really wanted to share some of these 1980s films with her because,
I had seen April Fool's
Day you had, but
I'm a horror nerd.
Yeah, but these movies are a part of culture. A lot of it, like some things like My Chauffeur, it's just those kind of jokes and those kind of films don't exist anymore.
This is true.
You
don't get stalking jokes anymore.
No, but things that were considered funny. Hi, Jennifer. How are you doing tonight? Did you make it back? Are you back in Georgia now? I saw your pictures with Mark today. They looked like you guys had a good time. They all went. They were down here visiting, and they went to First Watch with Mark on their way back home today. So that was pretty cool. But just to wrap things up about Deborah Foreman, Valley Girl. I mean, you could remake that. I don't think you would ever want to remake My Chauffeur.
Yeah, please don't. You can't.
Some of the jokes in there are like there's a scene with a dog. Do you remember the dog?
Oh, don't.
The dog park scene was just so horrible, and I was just like, I can't believe they showed that scene, and it's just it's just like a movie in time that maybe should be forgotten, But, movies like April Fool's Day and Valley Girl, there are other, I think those kind of films are always going to be around. Waxwork, that's a niche film. I liked it. I liked it. She
Apparently there's a sequel, which please.
Yeah, Waxwork 2, Lost in Time. And Deborah Foreman was not in, they replaced her character. They replaced the actress.
Good, she got out of there.
Yeah, so it was just, and I think it was straight to DVD too.
Good, it didn't deserve Well, I haven't seen it.
No, a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people like Waxwork too, but I have never seen it. But it's out there if you ever want to check it out. I'm a really big fan of David Warner, and I thought, he did a really good job in Waxwork, but he's always good at playing bad guys. Do you recognize him? Because he played in Star Trek 6. He was the Klingon.
Yes.
Ambassador
Yes.
Gorkin.
Yes.
Okay, so and also in one of my favorite movies, Time After Time. Have you seen Time After
I've not
Time?
seen Time After Time.
We're gonna have you watch Time After Time.
It's not a song.
Well, yes, it is a song, but it's also a movie with
that happens
David
a lot
Warner
back in the
plays
day.
Jack the Ripper, and Malcolm McDowell plays H.G. Wells. So
Interesting.
So this might be something you'd be interested in, because I know
Victorian England.
you well, no, it's got a twist. It starts off in England, and then it's in the present, but the present is 1970s, which is not the present anymore. But they tried to make a TV show after it like a few years ago, but it didn't do well for some reason. I think I tried to watch it and I just couldn't get into it, but the movie was really good. We've got some stuff coming up soon, so we're going to talk about that real quick for you.
There's a lot of big things coming for Roses and Reactions, but for the next show, we're going to do a more chill stream where we're going to be counting the top 5 and top 5 bottom, top 5 best, top 5 worst anime openings. And it's also going to kind of double as an ask me anything, ask us anything.
Yeah, we want everybody to come on and ask us questions, ask us anything wild.
Anything. I will answer any question. If she will answer any question, I'll make her. But the reason we're doing this and why it's going to be a more casual next week is because we're planning something big.
Yeah, we're planning something very big.
Well, not next week, but the next show, because the show after the next one is going to be something we've been planning since the start.
And anybody who wants to be a part of it too, we welcome you to join us.
Absolutely.
If you want to come in and join the discussion, because we're going to be doing old time He-Man. We're going to do old school He-Man, and we're going to do the present day
the new She-Ra reboot show, and that's just going to take a little more time to prepare than a normal show. So that's why we're trying to keep it more casual for the next show.
Yeah, because we're gonna try to put two shows together, in the background at once. So
because I've never seen an episode of
we actually have our anime show pretty much already tied up and ready to go 2 weeks from now. In the meantime, before we go, why don't we go ahead and show the book trailer again for people who were not here earlier in the beginning of the show?
Of course.
And we're going to go ahead and
here we go. That's the one you meant, right?
No, that is not the one I meant. Let's see the comments here. What we got here?
Yuck to the new.
Oh, well, Rachel likes the new.
The new
She-Ra, Princess of Power.
I do like the new one. I mean,
but yeah. So that's we'll have that discussion in a month. But okay, so that was the trailer that Rachel did for a joke. Oh, let's tell the story about the trailer real quick. Yeah, let's do that.
They want to see your real trailer.
They want to see the real trailer
that I actually put effort into.
Okay,
instead of that Comic Sans Garfield.
So the Garfield happy low quality.
I put it on to shut her up.
Yeah, she puts it on. She put it on as she at home. She does this. This is an inside joke. Okay, she will play this video when she thinks that
like you go on like rant.
I'm on a rant, and she just wants me to calm down. She'll play this, and then I
made this.
It used to make me really angry, and then now it's kind of like a joke.
But here's the actual trailer that I actually put my heart and soul into. So here we go.
Sweet dreams they placed on me inside my mind. Chance my truth twist the past, my memories are fading fast. Am I
So that is the official trailer for the audiobook that's coming out soon.
That's the teaser trailer.
Sky Alley does an amazing job.
Yes.
And we've got some comments here. Fairly sure the dance in the trailer is inspired by Mark. Yes, go try it on Joe. It works wonders on her.
Oh, okay.
It does, the shutting you up with the trailer.
Okay. Yeah.
And of course, Ireland does not exist.
Ireland does not exist.
Ireland does not exist.
How could that be? Oh,
It's just like Australia. It doesn't exist.
Oh, so
It doesn't exist.
So thank you very much, Jennifer, for that comment. There's a lot in store. I've got a lot planned.
We've got a lot planned. We've got new segments planned for the show. We've got an outro in the works. A lot of big things are happening for Roses and Reactions in the near future.
Yes, and with regard to the audiobook, I'm planning on a virtual audiobook launch party. I'm hoping to have anybody who read the book that wants to come on. I'm welcoming them to come on. Anybody who's just a friend of mine who wants to come on, I want them to come on. If you have a book that you've written or something you want to share, I want you there. Okay. I want this to be kind of huge. If Sky Alley is available, she's going to be on, and I would like everybody to really meet her. She's incredible. And about that also, there's a book that just came out by the name, it's written by Lee Call. It's called The Angel Room. And she narrates that book. It's a dark story about the coming of age of a young person, and it's very beautiful, but it's very raw at parts, and she just knocks it out of the park. I'm about halfway done, but yeah, I highly recommend that book. It's available now on Amazon and Audible. And speaking of books, I want to share this also. I don't think Brady's watching tonight, but this book is called Brave New Girls. It is a book that has short stories in it about science fiction and science. It's STEM, STEM related. And one of the short stories, this has been a series of books, but Brad, he calls himself Brad in here, but we all know him as Brady. He actually wrote a story called The Microscope that is in this book, which I think is really cool. And it was really cool to read, and
sad.
And it's sad, but I don't want to give away spoilers. But this book is also available on Amazon, so if you get a chance, check this out also.
And before we go, Jennifer says that you might want to do your audiobook premiere as an event, so they can keep up with it.
Oh, you know what? That's a really great idea. I got to come up with a date. I'll know more soon because I still have to upload the book to Audible and any place else where I'm going to be uploading it, and that's going to be soon. My work load has just been, I've been so slammed with work, and then I'm coming home, late at night, and I've been working on some side projects in my car during lunch and before I get home. So I've been getting home very late working on side projects for the book. So as soon as I have more news, I will definitely do it as an event page. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for that thought. And I hope you all enjoyed the show tonight. I know it was short. We only had a few clips, but it was a show I really wanted to do. And anytime I can introduce Rachel to more 1980s stuff, the better. And so I hope that you guys stay tuned. We've got a lot in store the next few months. And thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.